Hello, guys, and welcome to another day with Words from Ranger Matt. This is Matt. Thanks for watching those on Facebook, those that's on either my YouTube channels. If you watched and heard the messages I've given the last 2 weeks, I appreciate it. Sorry for the late start. I know I went live and all you saw was just my logo, but not me. Late start there. Um, so today, I know the last 2 weeks my messages was motivating in terms of reinventing yourselves in a way to say. My first message was being yourself, and the second one, which was the one I just did Friday, was escape the dark. And today, my message is pretty much saying stay motivated. And we all have goals in life and challenges in life. Well, let me take the challenges out. Let me go back to the first part. We all have goals in life of things that we want to do and accomplish. And sometimes it can be a challenge, and sometimes it can take us longer than expected. You may want to be somewhere in your life right now that you probably thought you would have gotten like that. And sometimes, if you rather you accomplish that or you're still working on that, it's probably taking you longer than expected. Sometimes it take you months, days, or it could have been a plan that you started maybe 4 or 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And we all have that feeling as if, like it's kind of like what I said before with the whole be your own person, don't copy and paste what somebody else is saying, because you may think, well, this person had a similar dream or goal or job to do, and they're finished. They're done. Why is it taking me so long to do it? And we all have different journeys in life. It doesn't surround our everyday surroundings to copy and paste what somebody else is doing. And you have to stay motivated in that. Just because it worked well for them and they got it done, it doesn't mean it can't work for you. You know what I'm saying? And who knows, vice versa. You could be halfway to where you want to be, and then somebody else could be looking at you saying, well, why can't I get to that spot and place in life? It all fits in with the fact that, as well as being yourself and coming out of the dark and not being in a dark place and being motivated, positive, you got to be motivated in what you do. Motivation is the key, and that can be a challenge. It can be a struggle. But one thing I can safely say is in life, nothing is easy. Everything is a challenge. We don't know how one day may go versus the other. You may have a good day, you may have a bad day, but you can't go left field with it and feel as though you tried and you're going to give up. Now, if it's like a career or job related thing where you've probably been trying to do it for the last 20, 30, maybe years, and you're older now, maybe you make it to a place where you want to experience for something else. One thing I tell my friends or tell people is, as far as the career path goes, make sure you have a plan B in mind. And you probably heard this from somebody else as well. Uh, have a plan B in mind just in case the first plan doesn't work out, because sometimes what we want to do may not work out, or it works out, but it might run its course. And if you have a plan B in mind, at least you'll have something else to fall back on. Excuse me. And the one thing about motivation that you gotta be in life with being in terms of wanting to do something and being positive about it, you gotta keep pushing it. You have to get yourself. I apologize for the noise. I guess something may turn. Never lived near somewhere where the fire station or ambulance is closed. That gets annoying after a while. But anyway, off topic. Like I was saying, one thing about motivation when doing a task or fulfilling a career goal or anything that you love to do, the motivation can sometimes come to a standstill if you feel as though you can't do it, or you surround yourself around people who thinks you can't do something. And that's one thing you got to keep in mind. everybody has different opinions about how you should go in life or how you should fulfill something in life. The main opinion that should stand out is God's. And if it's something that you want to do, you pray about it. And if you're a believer in God and have faith in it, know it's going to happen. It's going to have an outcome to it. Whether it takes you tomorrow or a month or a year to do it, a change is going to happen. But you got to stay motivated. And through that motivation comes positiveness. And like I was saying Friday, positivity can lead to possibilities. If you're motivated through a positive train, that positivity you have can lead to a similar possibility of growth, meeting new people, connections. When I started doing this podcast back in December 2019, for those that follow my channel, it's sometimes on Soaps Pass, my one channel, or the Slicker Better You Slick podcast on Facebook. And most of the guests that you've seen on my channel is soap stars. But before that, that wasn't on my agenda. My agenda was originally just book authors, motivational speakers, pastors. That was all on my agenda. I had no interest in interviewing nobody that was on television. And I was kind of nervous about it because I hadn't much experience in doing podcasts and I didn't know how to do it. And at the time, I was doing it via the telephone, where I would record the conversation, edit it later, and post it later. And it was a slow process, but it moved slowly but surely. And I figured maybe after 5 episodes that was probably going to be it. But I kept going at it. I kept moving forward with it. And when I got to a place where I wanted to do something different, and I reached out to an actress named Tina Sloan, who was on The Guiding Light back when it was on CBS television. After talking with her, I have to say 2020 was kind of my year because a guest, another guest, another guest, another guest, another guest. Then I started getting people that worked at Disney behind the scenes. So even though that's kind of slowed down in this recent year, but at the time when I was doing it, it was a goal that I had in mind. And you know what I'm saying? It was something whereas I pushed myself to do it. I stayed motivated. I could have quit. I could have said, after a while to want to do it. And when you're proposing a guest to come on your show, it can be a challenge because, for one, they don't know you, they don't work with you. I've had guests tell me that they'll be interviewed by somebody else who is in their same entertainment mode because they might have known them before, versus me, who's a fan and never seen me before. And in a nutshell, I had to do a lot of, I won't say tap dancing, but I had to do a lot of pleading, and something finally came around, and even so, I didn't have the best ratings for my podcast either. But I still stayed motivated and kept doing it. And you probably wonder why am I talking about this? Is I not doing anything? But that example of my podcast of how I got started with it and some trials and tribulations and getting guests to come aboard and what have you. My point though is that I stayed motivated. I had faith in it, and I kept going. And throughout those 3 years, because year 3 to this year, through it all, I kept going. And there were times where I didn't know how long I was going to do it. Maybe I should stop. I don't have thousands of views, maybe not, but that doesn't matter. I'm doing it because I love doing it. And many people I've reached out to have spoken with, even those who I did not interview, I've talked with via email, who couldn't do it, but we talked. That was a big bonus. I made a lot of friendships off this. But my point though is motivation is the key. You gotta stay motivated and fulfill your task in life. Without that motivation, nothing is possible. Without faith and positivity, nothing is possible. And all that is connected, a whole lot. Faith, positivity, and motivation. All 3 of those are connected. That is a train. Remember Friday, I was saying it off the negative train, on the positive train. Get on the train of positiveness. Positiveness, faith, and motivation. Those are the 3 things, and they're all connected, believe it or not. if you have positiveness and faith about something, that motivates you to keep going. You can keep moving and moving and moving no matter what anybody or anything says about you. But in life, when anybody says negative or whatever, that shouldn't affect you either, because that's just jealousy, or that's just them acting out or what have you, and that shouldn't bother you. But that's another topic. We'll get into that another day about eliminating the negative comments from people. But as usual, like last two times, I got a comment from the Bible. I got a verse. It's from Philippines 1 verse 6, which is basically saying, being confident of this very thing, that he which hath begun a good work in you will perform it until the day of Jesus Christ. That may not have nothing to do with motivation to some people who's looking at this program, but basically my thought of this was basically saying, be confident, and that the good work in which you have performed will pay off. And if you're a believer in God and his son Jesus Christ, those are the people that God is going to get you through that. He sees what you're going through. He aches when you aches. He's sad when you're sad. He's happy when you're happy. He talks about it up above, He knows what's going on, and he's with you through your good work. And when you spread his good work as well, and his message to other people about motivation, encouragement, I'm telling you, it's going to be a whole room full of people motivated to keep going, because when that spirit of God touches you, it hits you with something deep. I'm telling you. You feel loose. But, to kind of put it in a nutshell, to kind of wrap things up here towards today, I don't have a lot to say today, but today I will say, stay motivated. Don't let the negativity train come and stop you from what you're trying to do. The key in life is you have to fulfill what you want to do in life, because we only have one life to live. And one thing I've heard from people, and I'll say it to you as positively as I can. If there's something in life that you want to fulfill, something you want to do in life before you get to that age where you're older and can't, before you leave this earth, give it all you got. Now, I know we're in a pandemic season right now, even though that slowly is changing. And I still recommend wearing your mask and being socially distant, rather you wear your mask or not. I still say be socially distanced and be careful out here, because people are still getting this COVID left and right. But at the same time, in the nutshell of being socially distant, if there is something out here that you want to do, I say go for it. Motivate yourself. Like I said, motivation is the key. And if you motivate yourself in life to do something, you can accomplish that. And it takes time. Like I said, it does take time. It may not happen today, it may not happen tomorrow, next week, and next month, maybe next year, or in 2 years. You never know. You never know how things in life are going to go. Like I said earlier, when I did this podcast, I did not envision 3 years later of me still doing this, because I did not know how far I was going to go with this. I didn't know how my journey was going to go. Never in a million years that I imagined I would have talked with the people I've talked with on and off camera. But not that I'm trying to make this about me, because it's not about me. But that's just my example of saying that if I can motivate myself to do a podcast and get into photography and filmmaking and other things that I've done since I was younger, you can motivate yourself to do it. And the one person now believing you other than myself that's talking right now is God. God loves us. He created us. He created you. He wants you to succeed in life. He never wants you to fail. Don't believe that. And don't believe somebody else who may think otherwise and say the same thing. Escape that negativeness. I read a comment once about somebody who, I don't remember what I was watching, but they made a comment about God and saying, thank God they got other religiousness, and thank God they don't believe in it. Don't listen to that. Motivate yourself. God believes in you, and when you motivate yourself to do something, he is right there with you. He is never going to leave it behind. Even if you're addicted to something and you want to get out of it, pray about it, try to walk away from it, and slowly but surely you're gonna get better at it. Easier said than done, but I believe that if you believe in yourself and what you want to do, motivation is going to grow, it's going to prosper. you know Motivate yourself today. Motivate somebody today. You might know somebody at work, a family, or friend who might want to do something, but they may not have the faith or the spirit to do it. Motivate them. Motivate yourself. In life, nothing beats a failure but a try in life. So that's my message for today. Motivation. I feel kind of good talking about this, that I might just do another video today. Tomorrow or Thursday. But I know I might do a few more next week because I'll be on vacation. But that's my message basically for today, at least. Stay motivated. Erase the negativity. Don't let nobody else steal your joy for what you want to do in life. Because you only have one life to live, and fulfill it to the best of your abilities, and know that God loves you and I do too. So for those on Facebook or on YouTube who's watching this or will be watching this, you have a blessed day now. Be safe out there and stay motivated.